Now, one thing I completely forgot to mention were bookmarks and how incredibly important they are. And that is this white button right here. Now, bookmarks are these up here that go on top of the frames. Boop. So, what these do is they allow you to play from certain parts that you want to. So, even up to parts that are past or whatever. So maybe I only wanted to play after this point. Set up 2 bookmarks, and you're there. Best part, they show up on the timeline right here to help you get a sense of where they are in the animation. Let me drag this all the way over here. So, another bookmark. Now, as you see, it only got this far. In fact, one interesting thing about bookmarks is that when they start, they start from exactly where they are, but where they end is usually 1 frame before where they actually are. So, you want to set these to directly after where you want them to end. And so let's start moving around between these bookmarks. Previous, next. Very nice. But say I want to get rid of this one. It's in the way from playing the whole scene. Now, I had to look around. It's like, you double click this and you just rename a bookmark for absolutely no reason. I'm serious, like, why? Delete this. It only shows up if you just highlight it. But if you want to delete it, you make a new one on top of it. And now it's cleared. And you have a bookmark that goes into a scene. Let's have it just go on repeat. Very, very useful for testing out different factors or different sections of your animation, and for keeping different sectors set up in your animation. Let's go through these different screens right here, or tabs, and let's just see the different things that they do. So, first of all, let's go with render.avi. This is rendering a lossless file of the current animation. Lossless. And one of the reasons why under settings I set the preview to be 1920 by 1080 is so that it matches up here. Why is this set to 30 FPS? 60. Recording from frame 0 to frame 30, which is where this is, and then you just start rendering. But sometimes oh no, it didn't. Awesome. So notice how it's stuck at 1. That's bad. You don't want it to be stuck at 1. If it ever does that, then the render will come out blank. Not the sound effect guy. I mean, just it'll come out as a black screen. So you have to keep resetting the render until it works and it actually scrolls like that. Now, render picture, as you see, width and height matching the preview that we set up. And it's a BMP, PNG, JPEG, PNG, because those are just superior in every way. Now the cool thing is, if you set this off to the side, so if we go with enable effect, then we render a picture, if I move this to the side, so what happened with the preview window is it's now officially what your picture is going to look like. Now there are some effects out there like HG effects where it'll show you like the shadow and it's all nice in the preview, but the moment you render it completely changes because some effects just like to screw with you like that. It's okay. In my shader pack I already have those set up for any situation like that. So let's import some HG effects and show you exactly what those problems are. Like HG diffusion. Here we go. I usually like to set this to 2 because I found out HG diffusion effects just love to set themselves lower during render. So visible, you can see it provides a nice liquid glow on top of it, but this is like way too much. But if I render the picture, wow, the interface is going slow right now. That glow suddenly lowers back down to 1. And you got that nice effect, but as you can tell, HG effects will lie to you. So watch out for that. Now let's move on to the Edit tab. As you can see, register keyframe, same as register keyframe. Initialize bones, same thing. Multiply and adjust. Well, this is for angles and position. So it's technically the same thing as moving your position. Of course, I grabbed the fake root bone. And then you just multiply from where you move it. But that's completely useless because you move things to the exact position you want them to be in. Adjust. Never use it, and it didn't even do anything. Alright. Paste, same thing as just copy, paste the position, same thing. Reverse bone, never used it, very interesting. Paste other bone, reversal paste. Now, I haven't used those, but those look very interesting. Anyways, these are all the same as what was here. I usually only use select all, but sometimes I just want to select a column. But usually that's pretty easy by just right-clicking. Of course, it doesn't want to do it, but right-clicking, come on. Yeah, select column, select a row. Fine. I usually just box select. It's consistent. These are all bookmarks, as I've set up here. Insert column, remove column. Oh, what does that do? Oh. It seems to push and pull extra frames. That's interesting, but it's still not as cool as the multiply timeline. So say, oh yeah, effects don't like to be push or pulled, let me tell you that. So notice how like this 0 became, actually let me undo that. This 0 became 2 because you moved the effect. Never move effects. Always cut and paste them in order to keep exactly what they are. Because, oh my god, don't do this for facial expressions. Please don't. Always cut, copy, or paste facial expressions. Alright. Multiply timeline. The cool thing about this is, let's see. Say you accidentally have a part that's moving too fast. Let's turn off the effect so this is smooth. Like, whoop, and done. Let me reset these to look like that. Alright. That's entirely too fast. So what multiply timeline does, go back to edit, you select the range. So frame 0, yes, and then this 5, then you multiply how far you want that to go. Let's do a little bit more. Alright, so 10. And what this does is it slows down the animation and stretches the frames out. Very cool in case you have things going too fast compared to something else. Very useful instead of taking one little part and moving it and then another little part and moving it. Screen. View size, this doesn't matter because you already set this under settings to be 1920 by 1080. See, back color, you saw what that did at the beginning. Screen property. Yeah, I have no idea what that does. Anyways, enable. Full screen? Oh. Well, I don't really use that either, but that's nice. Anti-aliasing? Oh, super important to avoid this jaggy mess. Yikes. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a whole bunch of beads are on the edges of her arms. It's... Oof. Let's turn anti-aliasing back on. So much better. Now let's go to wireframe. That's pretty cool. Translucency. That's also pretty cool. Ground shadow. As you can see, there's the ground shadow. Self-shadow. Let me go to the camera and demonstrate self-shadow a bit. Deep. There you go. That is self-shadow. And here is ground shadow. Huge difference. And soft shadow? Off, on, off, on. Rendering order, related order, auto Z-sort. I don't even touch them because they're supposed to be for effects and the order that they come in. But MMM's, it accepts all effects and all orders. It doesn't really have them in a certain order or require them in a certain order. View, locus, cam locus, well, camera. But let's just. The only things very useful here, really, are already in the toolbar right here. Show expanded only. Don't know what that does. Pose, handle, caption. Don't use them. Axis. Get rid of them right here. But mostly, the only important things about view are already down here at the bottom right. All the exact same things. They even update too. And physics. Let's move her forward a bit. Watch the hair. Let's get rid of the car. Because, yeah, okay. Let's make sure that when I play, this isn't going to be suddenly jerked to the camera position. This is physics, right there. So, initialize rigid body. Initializes the physics to be set to square one, which is as if turning the physics off and then turning them back on again. That's what initialize rigid body does. Then, when only play means they'll turn on only when you play, and always means always on. Show physics bones. Yeah, it shows you even more bones that you have to adjust. Yikes. And ground, what this does is where this axis is the ground. And if you have Gumi here, hold on. Go towards the ground, the physics will register that that is indeed the ground. So, let's rotate her neck here. So, as you can see, it won't go below or anything like that. In fact, it drags against the ground. And if I turn that off, then it doesn't care anymore. Very useful for different situations. And show rigids, well, you can see just how bad physics are usually set up. Jeez. The hell? Oh, that's the Marissa, okay. Or it's not, I don't know. That looks like hell. Anyways, let's reset everything. Let's get rid of those physics bones. Alright. Another thing about physics is soft body. All this is where the hair is. Let's initialize this. It notice how everything's kind of like jankier than usual. Soft body allows it to be a little bit less jankier than usual, that's it. The hell is it interacting with? If anything, I would say... yeah. Okay. Where the hair... why does she have to do this? Okay. Where the hair would usually just interact with something, it would be smoothed out in that interaction. But because the physics are so horrible on MMM, it kind of doesn't matter too much, but whatever little bit we can take, we'll get it. We'll take it. Now, let's go with the cool... what the... girl, calm yourself. Jeez. Still haven't... let's just do not available. I usually have physics to not available because that also saves frame rate. So, bookmark record. Since we have bookmarks made, we can record what, like if we go physics bones and we select all those physics bones, I have the room selected, not Gumi. We can have only the hair be selected and that will have physics, or we can have only this be selected and record this physics. So, exactly what does this do? So, you can save your CPU from having to always have physics on by hitting record. Let's do bookmark record. Record goes from beginning to end, while bookmark record goes from section, bookmark to bookmark. So, it recorded all the keyframes of these physics bones. And now, I don't even need physics on because those physics are still gonna work as if they move themselves. So the best, I say so a lot, the best thing to do when it comes to messing with janky physics, like that son of a bitch up there, get over here. Who's moving you? You. So let's go into this folder. Alright, now physics are marked by X's. The best thing to do is take a whole bunch of messing up physics, and then you set up how you want it to be in that position instead, and then mark it, and then it will smoothly go from there to there. This is great, wonderful even, for when something is clipping, like hair or something like that. Let's mess with the hair now. That's a lot of extra stuff, but I believe I remember that. Hold on. It's this one. So, I don't like how it starts off like that. So, I said it again. Let's delete all of these. Go to this keyframe. And then move it to the position I want. Now, it's gonna follow, and then the physics will turn on, as if it was built to be. This is a great way of adjusting your physics, making it look like you still have physics, and pretty much blending animation and having things still look good. So, the difference gets rid of that glitchiness, and you can't tell. Well, I mean, you can kind of tell because you saw me do it, but those who watch the video will not be able to tell if those were physics or if it was natural. I had to do this a ton in the city scenes. Now, these last three I will not talk about. Plugins I don't use because I blink with these myself. It's pretty easy. Just make sure to remember that people blink. And that's generally the interface of MMM, other than the camera.